I mean, so we'll get together next week. If anything, when we're away.
Yeah. Everybody else in the.
Yes.
So that.
Each and every one of y'all. I don't know why I signed myself up for that. Where we go? I didn't even pack.
Okay.
He did not get married. Thank you.
When I said that.
You need them? You need them? Red Cross. Red Cross Southeast. Chapter. Oh, he has. Because that's who will give you.
This one I've done.
Just saying.
Not in the radio.
Yeah, just. When you get on some green tea, it'll sound like tea, but then you might want to.
You need to be on the board. Do you want me to write your name on the board? I'm gonna write your name on the board anyway now.
I didn't know what uniform had. Yeah, I just moved away from the camera. You can-
I'm gonna put the.
Right, yeah. Yes, it wasn't. I didn't see. When I got there.
Good evening. We're gonna call to order.
10:15.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
United States of America.
Borough manager, can we have roll call, please?
Council Vice President Bernice Clark Dickerson. Councilor Douglas Eager.
Here.
Councilor Beth Ann Johnson. Councilor Michelle Miller.
Here.
Council President Shante Miller.
Present.
Councilor Michelle Roberts.
Present.
Councilor Walter Stubbs.
Yeah.
The Honorable Mayor Amanda Havoc.
President.
Council met in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss personnel issues. As far as presentations, we did have a proclamation for honoring the life of Elise R. Nelson Woolley passing, which occurred, she did pass away on May 9th of 2024. I believe her service was last Saturday at First Baptist Church of Morton. We're gonna move on to We do, do we get them? Yeah, you wanna read it? Yeah, we'll have, Mayor Hammack read proclamation.
I believe it's included in your package, and it's the third page. And it states, whereas Elise R. Nelson Mooney served 21 years in the United States Marine Corps from 1974 to 1995, achieving the rank of Chief Warrant Officer second at the time of her retirement. And whereas in 1994, Elise was a recipient of the prestigious Rory Wilkin Meritorious Service Award presented by the NAACP in recognition of her community service and work towards improving equality for all. And whereas beginning in 1998, Elise served the residents and business owners of Morton Borough as tax collector with dedication and integrity for 19 years. And whereas with unwavering passion, Elise worked on behalf, pardon?
Elise.
Elise worked on behalf of Delaware County Democratic Committee and Veterans for Obama to help achieve victory for Barack Obama in both the 2008 and 2012 presidential elections. And whereas determined to have unity in her hometown, Elise organized a Black Lives Matter rally in Morton Borough in 2016. And whereas in the annals of town's history, few individuals have left a mark as indelible as Elise R. Nelson Woolley. Her achievements are a testament to her lifetime commitment to public service and the betterment of our community. And whereas Elise R. Nelson Woolley went to be with the Lord on May 9th, 2024. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Hammack, along with Morton Borough Council, offer our most sincere condolences and directs that a copy of this proclamation be delivered to the family of Elise R. Nelson Woolley. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and cause the great seal of Morton Borough to be affixed on this 18th day of May 2024. My apologies for not being able to properly pronounce her name.
Thank you, Mayor Hammack. All right, we're gonna move on to public comment. Looks like, we have up first Mario Camino. Can you please set the timer?
Not the speed this, but A number 5, committee reports, public facilities, A number 5, roof replace or ornamental fence, and I see there are kind of jaw-dropping costs for this. So first thing, I don't understand what replacing a metal fence with another metal fence would solve. I also see now we're going to replace an existing perfectly good metal fence around Social Field. Again, council, please explain what's going on. But anyway, regarding the historic nature of the fence, I want to enter into, I want to share with council, this is a picture. You can see the school is roughly brand new, built in 1917, Sidney Smedley School. You can see the fence there. So the fence has been there for 107 years. Has not caused a problem that I know of. The other important thing about this picture is the fence extended. This view is looking to the entrance of Sidney Smedley that other residents can verify that went here on Alpha Terrace. So the fence used to extend all the way around Alpha Terrace. So if you're intent on getting rid of the fence there, I would suggest we talk about moving it to replace part of the fence that was there where there's not a playground now. Regarding that, you can't just give away for our asset. I have verification here, and based on my professional knowledge of architectural antiques, that fence is worth, the ones I have here is $40 to $50 a square feet. I would say that's a low estimate. So you're looking at roughly $10,000 to $15,000, I would say, just for this section of fence here, not what's on the back there. If that was involved, then you'd be talking almost 20,000. So Mr. Ewald knows there is a provision, I believe it's 1202A in the Borough Code that requires the borough to put out bids and also discuss a resolution in order to give accession a borough asset of that value. So you can't just give it away. So let's get that off the table. So I will send these around, which is verifying the cost of the fencing. This is the General Assembly, verifying the Borough Code statute for the Pennsylvania Code. Also two attachments here regarding, Mr. Stubbs knows, Mrs. Miller, you're on the board of the Athletic Association. You know, there are all sorts of padding products that would be much less expensive than any of these estimates that can be used to mitigate any perceived issue with that fence. So I would implore council to consider doing that first. And if they can't bring themselves around to that, then move the fence. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Mario.
Okay. Thank you. Next up. Charisma? Yeah, I mean, it's public comment on agenda items. But you would have wanted to go under presentation. But that's okay. I'll allow it. Good.
I'm just coming up for support.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
All right, so first, thank you for letting me speak. My name is Charisma Jones. I'm from Morton. I'm born and raised in Morton. I just recently moved back out here in 2019 with my daughters. I initially had some copies to give you about the documents, so, but I did send a letter of proposal over, not too long ago, maybe. I sent a letter of proposal and I'm trying to.
Mike is there. It's okay.
So I'm just gonna read my letter. I hope it doesn't take too long.
Oh, it's right here.
And then I'll kind of. Go into it.
Can you pull that one over to the table and then make sure?
There you go.
My letter reads, Dear Morton Borough, I am pleased to discuss my interests and propose to you my plan to open a pop-up convenience store here in Morton, my hometown of Morton. My name is Charisma Jones. I am the owner of Beanie's Blessings. I was born and raised in Morton. I recently returned to raise my daughters here in 2019. One of the things I've learned from growing up in Morton is having a sense of community. I'm so grateful that my children now have that opportunity as well. My plan to open a pop-up convenience store I have the community in mind. As a child growing up here, we had Morton News, and we also had the bakery for various items. Both stores offer convenience, lower price items. I intend on bringing back to Morton, plus more. Whether it's snacks, beverages, or even last minute household items, we will have it. With plans to eventually bring fresh fruits and vegetables. The location I'm looking to open the store is the lot. I now have the address, which is 16 Morton Avenue on our property. And actually leasing the property from Ms. Ball, who owns that property, to actually open the store.
Is that North Morton or South Morton?
I think it's North Morton.
It's
Morton, Maine.
It's
by the check cashing place?
Correct,
Side?
yes,
Okay,
the lot,
okay.
yes. And then, I had the okay from the owner and I'm currently using it, and it would be a 12 by 24 structure. I did include that again, the picture of it in my proposal initially, but sorry about the printing issue. And I have attached a picture of it. I love my town and I am very passionate, about contributing to it. And I hope that you consider my proposal. So just to kind of touch on a couple more things, I've already introduced myself and I was born and raised here. One thing more, and I do know we have Wawa, but we do not have convenience. We don't have other items that we can actually purchase. So there's just a lot of options there, of things that I can actually try to send to the community. And that was my comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa?
My name is Lisa Lockley, 114 Harding Avenue in Morton. I'm here to address, the fence issue. I just want to give my opinion about it. That fence is at least 66 years old because that's what I am. And that's all that I've known. It's a beautiful fence. My concern is that you can take down the fence, but what if something happens out in the field? Or at the baseball park, or in the woods? Are you gonna take those down too? I'm wondering how many things, are we going to take down if something happens? I understand your concern, but this fence is historic. It's what I used to climb over. But I don't see, after all these years, I understand things can happen, but after all these years, I don't see why that should be, a reason to take it down. You address the problem. Like Mario said, there's safeguards that we can put up. And I didn't even know about that, but I think it's something that we can look into. So, that's my opinion. I feel as though the fence should stay. I think it's a beautiful fence. And they don't make them like that anymore.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lee?
Thank you, Madam President. Michael Lee, 123 West Sylvan Avenue, Morton, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, United States of America. Madam President, under upcoming meetings and events, I found what I believe to be a mistake. You have a meeting scheduled for June the 12th, the second Wednesday, which is fine. But then you've got it scheduled a meeting for June the 19th, one week later. Is that correct? Or is that a mistake and it should have been the 26th? And second, the other thing I found for the second meeting in a row, there's no report listed for the borough manager. Is this Mr. Stewart's decision or is this a decision of council? And if so, what's the reasoning for that? Thank you for listening. Good night. May God bless all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I have to keep saying, I probably should be proofreading. Honestly, I do look over these agendas, before they come out, and I probably should be checking behind, but I trust that with our great system and technologies that you do that proofread beforehand. But now that you've mentioned this twice, I'm going to start doing that. So, I do apologize. I will have to proofread, Mr. Stewart. As far as leaving out the report for the borough manager, that is not a choice from council, so I don't know, and maybe there is just nothing to report this evening.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, you're correct in the dates. Okay, and Mr. Hefner?
Bill Hefner, 571 South Old Middletown Road, DFBA. I own many properties here in Morton and businesses. I do have a question about the fence. Why are we motivated to get rid of this fence altogether when looking at it, yes, some areas need repair, but we have a fence that runs all the way along the back property where pieces could be taken out, put and fixed on the fence and probably just painted instead of spending a lot of money for a new fence. That, to me, I think a cyclone fence is an overlooking fence. But I was just curious, what prompted this motivation to remove the fence?
Go ahead. Go on with your comments.
That's basically my comment. So,
We're looking into all that, and everything. This is just.
Actually, the missing piece that's on the corner of the property,
Right.
that piece is here. I retrieved it from a business that had it a couple of years ago. It's been sitting here and it has not been,
well, I was just
fixed and,
curious
you know,
why
resanded
people
and
want to
repainted.
move the fence now.
No, there's missing pieces throughout the fence. If you go around and look at that whole fence,
Oh, I did.
there's
I did look,
points out and everything,
There are.
and
there's
children are
some
getting
broken
hurt on it.
pieces,
No.
You need to
there's
understand
some
what's happening.
pieces. I agree with you.
And the one thing is, and I'm putting it on the borough did not do their due diligence in keeping up that fence. And that's why we're at this point right now. but we're looking at everything.
It's
I just want
hazardous
you to
at this
understand.
point.
So you can
Yeah.
think
It's-
about taking pieces out of the back of that fence. that
We,
nobody
we're at the
fits.
beginning
Yeah.
stages
Exploring all
of,
things.
we're exploring all options. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not that we are
It's
looking
coming down
to
tomorrow.
rip up a piece of history.
Yeah.
There's always a reason behind everything, right? So that's really what it is.
Oh,
There's
that's why I was
missing
asking what
pieces.
the reason
It's
was.
very, it's
Won't
hazardous
know
at this
everything 'cause
point.
it's private.
Yeah, but it's
You can't
private,
tell.
it's personnel, but you know, I'm sorry, what's that, Michelle?
There was a lawsuit. Somebody got hurt bad. A child. And now we're in the gets of it right now. So that's what's happening. We're looking, the borough has been put on notice that that fence is trouble right now. We looked at the fence. Some of council didn't even know this was happening. So we need to understand what's happening. You're saying that you guys were not made aware of it. People knew, but they didn't know everything. So we're letting you know what's happening. We're doing our due
This is-
diligence
this-
now, and we're
Hold on.
investigating, we're looking at it. We say get us some quotes right now.
This is new council
Right, we're finding out
giving you
everything.
your transparency.
Yeah.
This
So we're
isn't,
not gonna go. tit
that's
for
it, we're
tat.
not doing
We're
that,
just
but
letting you know why, what's
Maybe
happening.
there needs to be more transparency then, because he's answered a question, he doesn't know the answer, and I didn't
Yeah.
know.
But we're just
You're not
giving it
gonna
to you
always
because
know
just like
everything.
you finding
And
out the
litigation,
answer,
you can't
so are
work
we.
that. So that's it, we're letting you know now.
That's the reason why I asked the question.
Correct.
No, I appreciate you answering why.
And that's what I'm telling you,
That's it.
we're looking
So
at,
a
these are the
cyclone
things.
might, can I just say this, a
Absolutely.
cyclone might be, the dream thing that a kid can't fall into? So
No.
if they fall into a cyclone fence,
Mhm.
you're gonna take that down?
No, we're saying we're investigating
We're-
everything right now.
Right,
We're at the
we
beginning
need
of
to make
everything.
it safe. I mean, it's
I
a,
know, I understand that, I
Yeah.
get that, but what I'm saying is, just take everything down and put nothing up there.
That's
we're-
fine.
that's what we actually suggested.
Well, I think it's a dumb idea, because that's a beautiful fence,
Yeah.
no child has ever gotten hurt on that fence.
Oh, yeah, they
She-
have.
That's what we're dealing
But we're
with.
not gonna get.
But we're not doing
No,
that.
maybe one,
No.
maybe one.
It's okay, but we wanted
Yeah.
to make
We
sure
want
like
you
you
to understand.
understood.
So that's
Because it's not about
just taking.
just
stuff
taking things away, like, and I think that's what
Well,
the
it does seem
piece.
that way.
But how?
down.
That's okay, we're not, you know what, I'm good. We're gonna move on now.
So can I ask one more question? When are you gonna vote on this?
You have to,
We haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Literally
Not
nothing.
yeah, not tonight.
Was that our last one? All right, we're gonna move on to our committee reports, starting with public facilities and infrastructure. Counselor Beth Ann M. Johnson is not present this evening, so I'm gonna take it over to you, Mr. Stewart, if you're able to report on her committee, that'd be great.
Sure, Madam President. The first item on the agenda is the ARPA Small Water and Sewer Grant, which is addressing high priority I&I reductions. We did receive a grant in the amount of $262,057. In previous meetings, we had requested the Catania Engineering prepare the bid documents. Those documents were received on the 21st of May, which was yesterday. In an effort to try to expedite the award and getting this project underway, in your package is a recommend to award from Catania Engineering to award the project to in situ form. The bid price, Madam President, was $343,402. This exceeds the amount that we were awarded in the bid. So what Mr. Catania has requested is that we remove the storm pipe portion of this contract, and by removing the storm pipe portion, we're able to reduce the bid down to $295,974, which is what council has requested to take action on this evening. Item number 2 is the 2024 road program. This is a joint program between Rutledge and Morton. As previously discussed at other meetings, there was an issue with the advertisement of the original bid. To be short about it is that PennDOT has bidding requirements to where The bid has to be advertised in a newspaper of general circulation within a certain amount of days of when the bid gets posted. There's 2 times that it has to appear. There needs to be 4 days in between the bids. Catania placed the bid in the newspaper general circulation on a Monday, and then turned around and placed it on a Thursday. That technically, in the eyes of PennDOT, is 3 days, not 4. So PennDOT required Catania to throw all the bids out and re-advertise. Once he was able to re-advertise, the low bidder became Moore Brothers. And there is a letter in your package to award, it's a 2024 Morton Rutledge Road Program to Moore Brothers at a bid price of $180,510. So that would be action that Catania is requesting that we take this evening. Questions? I'm sorry.
No, I don't know. No, you can go ahead.
Item number 3 is an update on the signal issues at Woodlawn Avenue and North Morton Avenue. At last meeting, council took action to allow Catania to contract with traffic planning and design. Traffic planning and design is now in the process of scoping out that signal, which is the first step in doing a complete total redesign. They are providing a cost estimate as a part of that original scope, and they are putting the municipality in a position where we would be able to qualify for multiple grant opportunities that are coming up, both through PennDOT and the state. Item number 4 is KB Lighting and the PICO rebate program. We basically got a cold call, so to speak, from KB Lighting. They brought to our attention that the lighting here in the municipality is fluorescent and not LED. And there are rebate programs through PICO that we're able to replace all of the lights in the building, converting them to LEDs at a below wholesale price. The ones that are up in the ceiling here, they gave us a price of about $30 per fixture. When I did the internet research based on what they are offering us, the retail value is between $150 and $200 per light. So we're getting them at a pennies on the dollar type of situation. In the gymnasium or the rental hall, since those do not go up in the ceiling, they're able to discount those prices down to $1, essentially giving it away. I did have the opportunity to speak with Mayor Hammack, and I don't know if you wanted to express the idea of if council was to take action on this, how we would be able to get these things installed. No, go ahead, please.
So the idea is, if you would want to move forward with that, is to reach out to one of our union electricians to do the work as part of their programs. They do a lot of programs in which they donate their efforts, much like they did for flagpole that we did in Jacobs Park. So we would at least save on that through the work being done by them, so long as we have the equipment. That's pretty much that. We literally just talked about this today. This is the first time that I had known that we could get what, $1 for lights, and they do my house for them. But in theory.
Now, Mr. Stewart, does this include the entryway at Sycamore, the hallway, and the police station?
Yes, it includes every light fixture,
Okay.
both in this building, we'll say the council chambers,
Mhm.
the administrative office, the hallway,
The
the
bathrooms?
foyer,
Mhm.
the bathrooms, the gymnasium, and every office in the police department. So there's
Thank you.
approximately 26 and 75 with 101, 108, about 109 light fixtures
Huh.
that we would be getting replaced for approximately $2,500 or less.
Amazing.
Mr. Stewart, it's described as a rebate program. Is there a higher fee that that the firm would have to pay initially and then wait for a rebate? Or is this the total fee?
That's the total fee. The prices that they've quoted us is the prices that the borough would put out. Basically, if we take KB lighting up on their offer, they handle all of the rebates, but the rebates behind the scenes with Pico. The only clause is gonna be, and they're in the process of sending me the contract, is once we take receipt, the municipality has an obligation to install the fixtures within 60 days of receipt. And as long as they are installed within 60 days of receipt, KB can go back to Pico and get the rebates. At the last committee meeting for facilities, I was charged with the responsibility of getting prices to address concerns the council had in regards to the ornamental fence that goes in front of the rain garden and alongside Sycamore with the tot lot. Basically, I asked the contractors to approach this multiple ways so the council has action on how they would like to proceed. Removing the ornamental fence and having the contractors taking that away, basically scrapping the material. They all provided prices to do that. To salvage the fence, whereas they would take it down carefully, they would store it here on property, and they would give the municipality an opportunity to reinstall this in a different location. All three was able to provide a price for removing the fence and salvaging. If we were to remove the fence and install a 4-foot chain link fence, only Suburban Fence and ADU Services provided pricing. HRA was only interested in taking the fence down. They did not want anything to do with reinstalling the fence. There was discussion about placing the fence inside the perimeter so that we would leave the ornamental fence in, but then provide like a 6-inch or a foot buffer and just put chain link fence around the tot lot. We did get pricing from Suburban and ADU, and then both Suburban and ADU, or Suburban came with the idea of saying, hey, you have a beautiful fence. Why would you take what, in their opinion, was a beautiful fence down and not put a beautiful fence back up? So they gave us a modern iron fence at a price of $24,000. So these are all just pricing options. There's been absolutely no commitments made to any contractors to be performing the work. There is no action that is to be taken by council this evening. This information is provided to you for informational purposes only at this time.
Just so council's aware, the latter two options are options that would require public bidding. Because they're over the bidding thresholds, but so they have to require advertising.
And then the last thing that came out of the committee meeting with facilities and highway was the looking at potentially signing a truck route through Morton. There's been a lot of cut through traffic, and Ms. Johnson just kind of wanted to put that out on the things to do list. I know that we do have wayfinding signs for UTC. I think the issue then becomes is UTC knows how to come in. Unfortunately, they have a difficult time going out. And Madam President, I believe that is the conclusion of the report delivered on behalf of Councilwoman Beth Ann Johnson for Public Facilities and Infrastructure.
Thank you.
I know many years ago, or not many years, but several years ago, UTC was handing out flyers to all the truck drivers before they left, showing them what the truck drivers were leaving. I don't know if we could maybe reach out there and
Frank, you said.
reach out to Frank and see if they can restart that.
At that time, they also, there was a problem with the GPS, different truck routes, different trucking companies were giving them different directions. And that was one of the reasons Mr. Urso was handing them those maps to tell them specifically what roads we wanted them to go down and not. So that's a little background history.
We're moving on to finance and administration, Council Vice President Bernice Clark Jefferson.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay. Our report is to remind you that our second quarter sewer bill will be coming out as due, rather 6/17/24. Our number 2 item, we're going to remove it from it because we're not finished discussing this change on what's happening yet. So we're moving number 2 off the agenda. And that ends the report.
Thank you. Moving on to public safety, we are coming upon our sergeant testing. I still have not received a date of a meeting, for our civil service committee meeting. Have you guys, Mario, come up with a date to meet?
Mr. Ewald has several responses for me. He doesn't have a valid response for me to give it to chiefs, I believe.
I've gotten responses, I think, from everybody, but I haven't been able to match up all the dates. But I pushed it out again yesterday, to start the process again, and I'll keep on it.
Thank you. All right, and then, as far as our FOP contract negotiations, we are, starting the process with that. And that's really truly only thing I have really on that at the moment, but we are, working on getting together to form our, contract negotiations. Moving on to public health and sanitation and recycling, Counselor Michelle Roberts.
Good evening, everyone. On the agenda tonight, first is the rain barrel workshop. In your packet, there also is a flyer in regards to it at the very last sheet. And it's a free watershed and rain barrel workshop, and it's scheduled for June 10th. I want to make sure I'm reading that right. That has 2023 date on it.
Oh, well, it is,
All right. Pardon that.
What's that? If you don't get your phone together.
It's your fault.
Okay. Before Mr. Lee catches it, I mean, it has an error of the year on it, so it's June 10th, 2024, and it's at 6:30 p.m. here at 500 Highland Avenue, all right? And it's a free workshop. You must register. Also keep in mind, and you must register at www.prc.org.
for your free.
All right. And secondly, for your information, there will be no trash collection on Monday, May 27th, which is the Memorial Holiday. Trash will be collected on Tuesday, May 28th. Okay, that ends my report.
Get it on.
Counselor, excuse me, did you come up with your,
My cleanup date?
yes.
Yes, I did. And we will be hosting a cleanup event here in the Borough of Morton on June 29th. And that is a Saturday, and it'll be from 10 to 12. And we will meet here at Social Field. So if there's anyone that's interested in coming out, also, that is also going to be a busy day for the fire department because they'll be having their food trucks. But that's at 12 o'clock. So that means that you can come and help clean up and work up an appetite to participate by buying food. Okay?
And then they can clean up after. I can't.
Mhm.
All right.
Councilor Roberts, I apologize. I put that in the wrong category. I put that in under, community and economic
Okay,
development. since it was
yep,
a
no
community
problem.
event.
Okay, moving on to law and ordinance, Counselor Michelle Miller.
Good evening. Unfortunately, we don't have the chief here tonight, and if anybody has any questions that can't be answered, and he's not here. We did meet, the committee did meet, a few things were discussed, nothing earth shattering. We are still working on the various parking issues around, the mailboxes on Sycamore and along, Silver Lake. next to the Wawa for the residents along there. Currently, they are not getting ticketed for parking there. We're going to, look into it more about whether that will give permit parking to the residents and then what we do for the poor Wawa employees who also need a place to park. And then on Sycamore, the problem with the mailboxes and still addressing that and seeing what can, if anything can be resolved with the post office, which doesn't look too promising right now. Secondly, we discussed revising our ordinance for motor vehicle nuisances and abandonment. That's for people who've left their cars, whether they are on their private property or on the streets. So we're looking into that, making sure people are not parked, say on the little bridges, which you're not supposed to do, or you have a truck that is parked, a large truck that should be parked somewhere else rather than on the street, so on and so forth. So we're working on that. And you had a question, ma'am?
I did, yes. So I just asked a question, I know Jess Wayne.
What's your question?
Some parking specifically here. We have a wheelchair accessible van, and although there are handicap spots, there's not the type of spot that can accommodate a van and allow the space for a ramp to come down, for a wheelchair to come out. Are you going to be modifying the parking lot for that type of handicap parking?
That's interesting. There is a wheelchair specific spot on the street that's down at the entrance, down toward that corner.
But not in the lot.
But the lot, this was redone with a grant in the last few years, the handicap spot here. People shouldn't park over there who don't have the, the right placards and everything.
But what you're saying.
There
it's
is,
not
may I finish?
It's not wide enough, and there's not
It's-
that void
Right.
space. for a ramp to
Right,
come
right,
down.
right.
There's
So
nothing.
that should be
We can
looked
refer
into,
to the engineer,
because it,
the engineer review that.
because that was not done, that was part of what was done by the grant that was done a few years ago. It doesn't make sense, and I agree with you. Now, do you have everything all right at your home
Oh, yeah,
as far as parking? Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
sure.
So
So
there's-
there's a question, but it's not relevant to parking, is that for?
You go ahead and put your name right up. Yeah, absolutely you can, but no, you're good.
Lastly, I wanted to mention something. I had a resident approach me about complaining about a neighbor's dog. If you have a neighbor whose dog is outside anytime, day and night, who is barking for more than 15 minutes, you're not the bad neighbor to call the cops. They're the bad neighbor having their dog out there. So if this dog is out there at 7 in the morning, 7 at night, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, barking for more than 15 minutes, call the police. It's a violation of ordinances. It's not fair to the animal. And it certainly isn't fair to any of you. So don't feel like you're being the bad guy, because I've heard this from people before. They don't really call the police on their neighbors, but it's one of the things we pay the cops for is to keep everything nice in the neighborhood. And you can try to talk to them, and sometimes that doesn't work. So feel free to spread your wings and use what's available to you. And you do have to call 911 to get a hold of the police, but that's just the way it is. And they're not going to hold it against you for them being asked to do their jobs. So keep it in mind if you got somebody who's not being good to their doggy. All right. If anybody has any questions? Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Community and Economic Development, Counselor Doug Eager.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We are still waiting for the comprehensive plan and zoning ordinance update. That's supposed to be out sometime in the spring. However, spring is dwindling away. So hopefully we will have something soon, but unfortunately tonight, there are no updates at this time. So as soon as they come out, we will let you know. We are working on the website. We did meet with the developers just yesterday, I believe it was, or maybe Monday, whatever the day was. But we talked with them about getting the site up and running. They have a couple of things that they're going to need from us. One thing I need from council is everybody make sure you send me your bios. You can reach me. You all have my email and my cell phone. And if I don't hear from you in a certain amount of time, you will get an email or a text from me reminding you to send me your bio. So, yeah, so we just sent a couple mock-ups of what we thought the website should look like. everything's gonna kind of roll along from there, and, we will keep you posted, on the cycle of, the website coming along. And along with that, don't forget to like the Facebook page, which is relatively new. If you go to facebook.com and just type in Borough of Morton, it'll come up. It's just Borough of Morton, PA. So like the page, it's like I said, it's relatively new, so we need friends, okay? Don't be shy. What else is on there? Night of the Arts, which is at the Springfield High School. That's where the kids put all their projects up in the hallways there. It's a really cool event. If you haven't been, I'm pretty sure it's just open to anyone, right? I don't think you need to have like a kid, right? Okay,
Nope.
so.
Great.
Open to the public.
Okay, so that's tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. So if you have time, go check it out. It's all over the hallways and everything. And my daughter has some stuff up there before, and it's a pretty cool event, even if you don't have a kid that's in there. It's some pretty impressive stuff that these kids are putting out. Juneteenth event is going to be Saturday, June 15th, and that's going to be at 12 p.m. On Social Field. We're still looking for anybody that wants to get involved, so please reach out to the borough if you would like to be involved. As of now, we've got some music that's going to be just like DJ. That's not going to be a band or anything, but we've got music coming. There's going to be some face painting. There's going to be some food. There's going to be a scavenger hunt for the kids and a couple other activities going on. And of course, let's not forget what the event is all about. So please come out if you can. It's going to be at 12 o'clock. And the rain, it's probably going to be rain or shine unless it's a complete washout, but we'll try our best to make it happen. Unless there's impending thunder showers and things like that. So please come out for that. And then we have a movie night, which is on Friday, June 28th. That's going to be at 9 p.m. at Social Field. They might start the movie a little bit early, so I tell people to get there maybe like 8 or 8:30. One, to get a spot. Two, you never know. They do like to start it kind of like when the sun goes down. So if the sun, or if it's cloudy or something, they will start it a little bit earlier if they can. So try to get there early to get a spot. There'll be popcorn for everybody. And the movie we're showing is Encanto. So if you haven't seen it, it's a very nice movie. So come out for that. And Morton Cleanup Day, we already talked about that. Please join us at 10 o'clock on June 29th for that. Nice thing to come out and get your neighborhood cleaned up. And the Red Cross Blood Drive, Tuesday, September 17th. That's going to be at 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Borough Hall here. We'll have lots more information as that kind of gets closer, but there's not too much to know about it other than the date itself. And then the Morton 5K, if you'd like to join up, I have to check the site. I'm not sure if it's visible. I've set up the site to allow for people to sign up, but I'm not sure if it's quite visible yet. So I'm going to work on that. That's October 5th. And it's a 5K walk run, and it's all throughout the borough. It's a nice event to come out to. We're going to try to get some t-shirts for everybody to sign up. So please show your spirit and come on out. And I was going to thank Mario I think he left, but I was going to thank him for printing out all this stuff for us. It does give us some stuff to think about and to look at. So I do appreciate that. And that's about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to bring them up in the open discussion. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Moving on to Parks and Recreation, Councilor Walter Stokes.
Good evening. I know most of you seen the goats. These guys were working in our parks, eradicating all the invasive, what you call them things?
That's right, basic one.
Invasive plants. So they're eating, and the way I understand it, Jacobs Park is done already, right?
Councilor Sycamore is done. The goats are currently in Jason Park. They should be there for a few more weeks.
Oh, a few more weeks. Okay, appreciate that. Bring me up to date. My question would be, is there anything you feel is missing from Morton Parks? Is there anything you feel is missing from Sycamore and Jacobs Park? If you have any ideas or what you would like to see, please write it down and hand it to me, because 2025 should be one of the greatest years for our parks here in Morton. Should be one of the greatest years. I've reached out to the Philadelphia Phillies. I still haven't heard back from them. but I'm reaching out to them again to find out if we can have Morton youth working in their batting cage or working in their batting field, or be on TV, catching a fly ball in the foul field. I want to be able to do that to our young people in Morton. So, and as I always say, if you know somebody that knows somebody, please tap them on the shoulder and say, Morton's going back to being the great community as it was back in the 50s and the 40s and the 60s and the 70s. It's just important that you can't hide your ideas. You got to give them up, and it will work. I'm going to be trying to take a lesson in writing grants. I want to learn how to write grants. I want to learn how to write grants with my neighbors. Park and Recreation, we meet on the first Wednesday at 6 o'clock here. So between now and then, if you feel or you run across something that you think will excite and magnify this community, please come to the council meeting and let's sit down and talk about it. And as I always stress, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm reaching the 2025 and 2026. I want to have these time periods open for all great ideas. And there will be some mistakes. There will be some ups and downs. But we're not going to point fingers. We're going to reconstruct and rebuild. So if there's anything at all you want to ask me right now, please feel free. Oh yeah, I reached out to the community a couple of weeks ago, and I suggested that $3.65, $3.65 a check once a year from every household within the community of Morton, with any business within the community of Morton, if they would send to Borough Council a check, Park and Recreation, for $3.65 once a year. And that year will begin in 2025. So January of 2025, I want to see. And then I will really know if the community wants to better their park and recreation, because there's going to be things that we need to buy. And I know there are people who pay their taxes in the community. And I appreciate that. I pay taxes, I pay, you pay. But this $3.65 multiplied by 2,000 people plus in 1 year will help us do the little thing, buy a lawnmower, buy a car waxer or whatever. We won't have to use the tax money. We'll just use that cold beer money. Get rid of one beer. Get rid of one carton of cigarettes for that one tax. So if there's any questions, I'm ready to go for it. All right. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Buy a beer.
No, I don't buy beer. I don't drink no more anyway.
Okay.
I'm an ordained deacon for 20 years. So my message is filled with the gospel.
Thank you. I'll just add to give you a little something, Mr. Stubbs.
Yes.
I don't know, and most of you may not, but Jaden McKenzie, he is a kid that was born and raised in Morton. He lives right by Jacobs Park. He graduated from Springfield High School in 2018 and got a full scholarship to play football at Westchester and then transferred over to Rhode Island. He actually entered the NFL draft. I think he is awaiting to possibly be picked up by a team, but you know, I just wanted to give him that shout out because that's awesome. He is from here and he is doing great things, and I just wanted to make everybody aware and take the time to congratulate him and wish him the best of luck. He's not here, but I just wanted to, you know, put it on everybody's radar and put it out there. All right, moving on to the mayor's report. Mayor Hammond, do you have anything for us tonight?
Two quick things. One, referencing back to our public safety meeting that we had last week, was it?
Yep.
Days are all mixed up. I just want to give a shout out. That was a very productive meeting, and I cannot stress enough that if you want to know what's going on or add your conversation to and your ideas to these specific areas, please, 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 please attend. And the other thing that I want to mention, AMVETS has a Memorial Day service on Memorial Day. It's at 10 a.m. and it's held right at, obviously, AMVETS. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to our action items for this evening. It looks like we do have a motion, to approve or reject the award of the ARPA PA Small Water and Sewer, funding. Do I have a motion to approve this award?
That's at the revised bid price of $295,974.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Looks like it's 3-1. Yeah, okay. So it looks like it's approved. All right, our next motion is
Madam
to,
President, I'm sorry, Madam President, the motion would be 5 yeas, 1 nay, correct?
5-1.
yeah, 5-1, correct, yes, I'm sorry, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
Did it?
It
We
was
need to,
five,
well, it
right?
was 5, right? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, our next
Yes, it's
motion
5-1.
is to approve the award of the 2024 Morton Rutledge Road Program to Morris Brothers Enterprises at a combined bid price of $218,267.50. Do I have a motion?
So moved, but I do also have a question. Going forward with this, how soon can we expect our road service program to begin starting work?
With the rebid, typically the turnaround for contract documents is 30 days or less. With this, we'll call it a snafu. What Mr. Catania was able to do was there was an opening in the schedule for innovative construction solutions. They did the repair of the trench. Now, that repair of the trench exceeded the amount of monies that the municipality has currently in our liquid fuels account. So that is money that was coming from the allocation of funds that Aqua gave us.
Mhm.
So that was monies that we knew we were spending out of the general fund anyway, so we'll not count out of the liquid fuels pot. Now that he rebid, you're looking at 30 days. That's one of the reasons that Catania had asked us to do this on an off meeting, so that he would be able to get a jump start on trying to get these folks in, say, the middle part of June to do the resurfacing work.
Thank you.
I'll second the motion and also like to say that them not beginning till the middle of June is actually a good thing because schools will be out of session. And it makes life much easier for the bus drivers, the kids, the parents, all that. So once it gets done, we'll forget how long it took. And it'll be nice and smooth and pretty. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, looks like the motion was approved.
Yeah.
We won't, I don't really feel as though we need to touch on the action items scheduled for, June 12th. We're gonna move on, and as you can see, take a look at your agenda, please, for our upcoming meetings and events. If anyone has any questions, any concerns of the dates and times, please let us know. We're gonna now move on to, open discussion.
I just, can I If I could.
Absolutely.
Just want to interject that, Springfield High School graduation is scheduled for June sixth at 6:30 p.m. And that is going to be an outside event. If it rains, and that is on a Thursday. If it rains, it should be on Friday, June 7th. Okay, and that will be indoors. But for the outside event, like I said, it's a grand time for those that are graduating and their families. And they also will have festivities and fireworks. If anyone would like to come out and watch and take place and see the event, that they do it in grand style. So we'd like to say congratulations to all the graduates and to the families, not just high school, but every school that we encounter, from kindergarten to elementary to middle school, high school, and college.
Thank you. We're gonna move on to our open discussion. I'm going to allow you, Ms. Davis, it looks like you put your name under public comment, which kind of gives you that like first spot because it's above open discussion. So, you do have 3 minutes. You go ahead and stand up at the podium.
Good evening.
Good
My name
evening.
is Naima Davis. I was, throughout my childhood, I was, raised in Morton throughout my childhood.
What's your address, dear?
I don't live in Morton now.
Okay, okay.
But my mother and I were in Allentown and we
Mhm.
drove here because, what I'm about to share, you know, we want to support. Growing up in Morton throughout my childhood, one of the things that I did was get my hair done at Miss Kathy's shop.
Mhm.
There was pride in having someone that lived in Morton have a business in Morton because you knew how to behave. It was respected. There was protocol. It was protected by the community, and there was pride in that. And I'm saying that to say the pop-up shop that Charisma Jones is discussing, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea because she's a Mortonite. She grew up in Morton. She came back deliberately. She's raising her children here deliberately. She has a desire to give back to the community with intent to show her daughters her Morton pride. And I think that it should be considered seriously. I think that she should have an opportunity. She got her LLC. She's talked to the people that own the property. She's committed to this. She's already put down she purchased the
The shop.
thank you, the
Yeah,
structure
the
itself.
structure.
I know that she's committed to this. And I just honestly think that it would at least be worth giving her an opportunity. And so I just wanted to share that, I hope that's taken seriously. I hope she's given that chance. Because she loves Morton. She came back. You know, most of us that grew up in Morton branch out.
Right.
She came back intentionally. So I just think that that should be seen and appreciated. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, you're up next.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening.
Good
Michael
evening.
Lee, 123 West Sylvan Avenue, Morton, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. First, I'm going to encourage everyone, if you haven't done so already, please give a donation to the Morton Rutledge Fire Company. They serve a vital function. They help put out the fires in our community and others when called upon. It's really not going to hurt you to do that, as far as I could tell. Your information will not be sold to other charities. And to follow up on Mr. Stubbs' suggestion about giving up the liquor and the cigarettes, I'm going to go one step further, mainly for the men. It won't hurt you to give up one night at the brothel. It will not hurt you to stay home and be with your wife and your family. And the next one I have is, it's a matter for all of us to consider. It's in the realm of a public courtesy. Nothing infuriates me more is when somebody doesn't allow me to finish a sentence. or talks over me. It happened earlier tonight. I cannot follow multiple conversations. I can't filter out the noise. In some ways, it reminds me when I worked at the post office in the lunchroom. I felt like I was in a barnyard because I could not follow multiple conversations. I just had to get out of there so I could have some peace and quiet. So please, have everyone have the decency to let somebody finish a sentence before you comment. I include myself in that too. You know, there's no special rules for everybody else and a special rule for me. No. Everybody gets the same treatment, so please, just as a matter of courtesy, as I said, let somebody finish a statement before you respond to it. So I'm going to conclude with Elite President Richard Nixon's conclusion to his address to the nation on the evening of August 8th, 1974. May God be with you now and in the days ahead.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Corbin, did you need anything? You're more than welcome. You're on the board. All right. Ms. Todd, you're up next.
Celia Todd, 110 Althea Lane, Morton, Pennsylvania. I wanted to let everybody know that Mike Socia was in town over the weekend to do his scholarship business at Springfield School District. He did drive by Socia Field because he takes pride in what Morton has presented to him, and he said the field looks good. Thank you very much for taking care of everything. So that's one thing. We got great PR on the goats. Thank you for bringing people to Morton. I had a lot of friends come in from out of town and go see them, so thank you very much. I wanted to remind everybody that we have somebody in our community that needs a kidney. So please talk up kidney donation if anybody has an interest in doing that. We have Michael Saletti who still needs a kidney. So if somebody in your family or some of your friends have that kind of interest in helping people, please reach out to me and I can give you more information. I just had a comment that if their bios are the only thing that's holding up the website, put the website up and then add the bios later. So, and all the dates that you listed tonight, they should be on the calendar and they're not. So that's really important as people are making plans. And you've got a lot of great things coming up. I'm going to piggyback as a member of the Morton Rutledge Fire Department that thank you, Mr. Lee, for the plug. I really appreciate it. I know you've attended some of our events, but the annual pledge, the annual fund letter has gone out to the people in Morton. If you haven't made a contribution yet, please, there's papers up there you can submit. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. The weekend of June 28th, we have the movie night here in Morton, and then we have the cleanup in the morning on June 29th. But on May 30th, if you want to go to Iron Hill, a portion of Iron Hill receipts are going to be donated to the Morton Fire Company. So you need a voucher to get in, take one of these, and please go to Iron Hill Brewery and Media and enjoy your evening and meal. You can go from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So if you want to go for lunch too, go for lunch. On June 29th, Morton Rutledge Fire Company has a vendor and food truck event. There's going to be over 50 vendors that are going to be in Socia Field, and then there's going to be food trucks, unusual and delicious food trucks that are going to be on the street in Morton. So come out from 12 to 4. It'll be a wonderful time. The next thing is June 29th at 4 o'clock at the fire department. We have a quarter panel event. It's an interesting event. It was a lot of fun last year. There were lots of prizes. There's flyers up on the table here, so please take one and tell your friends. And I'm done.
Thank you. Mario? Karina?
Quickly, first item, the turn signaling malfunctioning emergency at 420 and Morton Avenue. you know, the agenda item was basically the same as last month. I understand that we have you know, work being done by the consultant, but we're still talking about going for grants, which unless there are grants that are new and I haven't been aware of, takes a lot of time. And I heard council, you know, question timeline of paving and some other important projects, but they're not emergency situations. I'm frankly pretty disturbed that nobody on council is pressing this matter, because as I said, the ambulances are getting stuck, police cars are getting stuck and can't turn around, and we're all getting stuck. So this has got to be priority one, and it's got to be treated. Mr. Ewald, Mr. Stewart can explain to you how exigent circumstances work when it comes to Borough Council making decisions and expending emergency funds. So please do that. The lighting project sounds great. I just want to make sure people are aware, under previous councils, we did replace all the, under a Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission grant, and rebate program, we did replace all the lighting standards outside in the borough, on the borough streets, with LEDs several years ago. And under previous council, we replaced all these lights with what were outdated T12 fluorescent, which what was the most up-to-date technology at that time, T8 fluorescence. So I'm glad, you know, this is a great piggyback on top of that. The only thing I would say about that with, you know, I'm all for getting free labor, but out of abundance of caution to make sure there's no appearance of a conflict with the electrical union, I would just hope there would be a memorandum of understanding that there's no political quid pro quo involved. On the fence issue, with what was discussed, I stand by everything that I said, that I provided counsel. I will be happy to meet and discuss with anybody from council about the details and on any issue. So, you know, I'm always available, you know, to share, you know, my historical expertise and my expertise, you know, in prior governance. My only question on that is, it was stated by a member of council that there is active ongoing litigation related to that matter. Is that true, that there is active ongoing litigation regarding that matter? I know you can't talk about the details, but is there active ongoing litigation? I'm sorry?
There's threatened litigation.
Threatened litigation. Okay, that's different than active ongoing litigation, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Mr. Hudson?
Good evening. I've seen what the coach have done over here in Social Field. They do a heck of a good job. But I was curious, what is the next step when the goats leave, being that, you know, you have branches and stuff which they can't eat and debris that needs to get raked or serviced. And then going further, yes, they eat the leaves and stuff, but the poison ivy and stuff will grow back. Is there any additional plan to service this park and also Jacobs Park?
One
Yes,
thing about the goats. Oh,
I
I'm
believe
sorry.
so, my brother, the fund that I'm reaching out to above everything else will be able to incorporate those things early. What I'm saying, the major thing is gonna be happening between now and January 2025. A lot of things will change. I will stay with Brother Stewart, and we will walk these parks, and we will scratch, eradicate all the stupid stuff that's still down. We want these parks and these areas, these baseball fields, these senior walking areas, we want them to be the safest. We want them to be the best.
So you're saying that you and Mr. Stewart work on these parks or find contractors or?
I'm saying that me and Mr. Stewart are gonna ask the community as well, so we all participate. You've heard the young lady speak about Morton. Morton has always been a great community. And
we great community.
we will always reach out.
It is, but the question is trying to get volunteers is difficult, so I was just wondering.
No, I don't think it's gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be difficult. When they see the plans for the park and what we got designed to place on these parks, they're gonna run and jump.
Okay, well, when do you think, the plan, the starting of the mitigation will occur? A couple months from now, or?
Yes. Couple months.
So most of that is part of the forest program. So the goats were just a portion and a step to.
So
the bigger
basically, you have the
program.
funding to bring in contractors and stuff
It's
to
all planned out.
clean
in that.
everything up. Okay, that was my question.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for your.
I had
I knew where you
also,
were going with it.
also spoke about having our seniors and our teenagers to play chess, play checkers, to sit in the parks and enjoy the outing at these parks. And then we're going for new basketball courts, we're going for new pavilions over at Jacobs Park. And when the community starts seeing these things uprise, they're gonna be uprising along with it.
I'm happy to donate the 3 hours and 6.
I know, I saw you change.
I was first.
I owe you-
Thank you, Mr. Huffman. Did we answer your question?
Yes, you
Because
did.
I know we had a couple things coming out.
I owe you.
Madam President, just to provide clarity.
Yeah.
Now that the goats are done, especially the sycamore and the poison ivy and poison oak and all of the English ivy has been eradicated. Mr. Hefner's 100% correct that if you don't do something, it's gonna immediately grow back.
Yeah.
The prescription that we've received from Navy Resource Group is that, you know, we need to cover that ground area, so Strober Tree is scheduled to come in here on Friday, give me an estimate to come in to remove all of the down trees. If anybody's been back in the park, they may notice some yellow or orange or red ribbons that have been tied around the trees. They are the trees that have been identified by Amazing Grazing as, you know, having to be removed. And Strober would probably come in, I would say, before the end of May. And what they're going to do is remove all of the stuff that's dead on the ground. They're gonna take the hazardous trees down, and we are going to spread chips throughout the entire understory. And having those chips on the understory is going to prevent the regrowth of the invasive species until we start the replanting of trees next spring.
Thank you for the clarification. Okay, if that does it for our open discussion, do I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for
Yep,
coming out.
thank you.